For this Photoshop tutorial, we're going to take a look at the new ContentAware tracing tool. This is a very early feature that has not yet been fully added into Photoshop. With that being said, by default, it is not enabled. So what you need to do is you need to go to Edit, go down to Preferences, and then in here you want to go to Technology Previews. Once you've opened this up, you will notice there is some other features that have not been added to Photoshop yet, but if you wanted to, you can enable them by ticking on the tick box, pressing OK, closing Photoshop down, and then you just want to relaunch it for the changes to apply. Once you've loaded back into Photoshop, you want to get yourself an image and then simply drag it into the work area, or you can go to File and Open. That works just the same. Once you've got yourself the image, the very first thing that we need to do is you need to left click on the lock to unlock it to be a layer so we can actually edit it. To get to the tool, it's very simple. You go down to the pen tool, you right click in the group, and you'll notice there is something called ContentAware Tracing Tool. So you pretty much just want to select it, and once you've selected it, these are really important to know. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the very first one, which is the gear icon. If you click in here, this is the path options. And if you wanted to, you could change the thickness. So you can put it to something much thinner or something much thicker, making it easier to see the path. Or if you wanted to, you can always change the color right in here to something different, let's say green, or you find it that yellow is much easier to see. And we're going to close this one down and move on to the next one. The next one is the three modes which you have available. The first one allows you to create a new path. The second one will allow you to add on to that path or extend it. And then the last one will let you trim it or take it away from that path. If you click in here, you will have three options available. So basically the way that this works is think of it as the pen tool and the magnetic lasso tool. However, you're not actually doing the work and the computer isn't plotting it down every 10 pixels. What it will do is it will look at the picture and it will detect the lines which are in the image. So for example, we're focusing on the person and we're going to focus on the outline of that person, and that is what we want it to detect. Now the only problem with this is that it will pick up other things as well. So this is when the tracing comes into place, because we can either have it on detailed, where it will remain with more lines, normal, or simplified, where less lines are visible. But for now, we're going to put it on normal, and we're going to move on to the next important one, which is detail. Detail allows you to, if you open this up, you'll get yourself a slider, and the slider is between 1% to 100%. If you slowly start to increase this, it will increase the amount of lines it detects. So as you can see, the higher the number, the more lines are becoming more visible. But the only thing is, if we go all the way to 100%, this is when it's going to pick up every single thing in the image. So what we need to do is we need to just lower this number to something more reasonable, to something like 28 or 26%. As long as you get a majority of the outline on the person, you're fine. And then finally, the very last one is auto trim. Auto trim allows you to basically reduce the line between your person and the outline. And we're going to enable this because it is going to be helpful. So once you start to hover over the image, you will notice some of the lines will become visible. And these are a preview of what the path will look like before you actually create it. So if we were going to left click here, this will create as a path. But the only problem with this is it also has gone into the person. But we can easily edit that. So that is the great thing about this tool. If you wanted to, you can select each point manually by left clicking on them. And then this will let you edit that point. So if you change the anchor point, it will change the position. You can also adjust them. If you drag these white circles, these will let you bend them. We can now make this extremely round, or we can simply right click on here and then add a new anchor point. And this will allow you to do this where it's more fixed around the area. But let's say you didn't want that anchor point. You can just right click on it and you could delete the anchor point, and then that will reset it back to a curved line. If you wanted to take away from the path, what you can do is you can hold Alt or Option key, and then this will switch it over to the subtract. Before you can actually remove it, if you wanted to, you can also hold Alt or Option key, and then hold the right side of the mouse out to give you a preview of what will be deleted. So as you can see, the red line is the indicator for what will be deleted if we let go of both of them. So if you're happy with it, you can just let go of both of them and then that will delete that path. Or if you wanted to, you can just click on the specific one and then you can hold Alt Option key, and then when the red cross comes up, you just left click and then that will delete that path. And then finally, the last option is to connect it up. And this is crucial. It is absolutely important to do because if you don't do it, then your image will look really weird at the end. So for example, let's say we couldn't get one line here, which is right there, and we could get it down here. We can connect it up by creating a line here, zooming in a little bit more to make it easier to see. We would click on the top one, which is the closest, and move this as close as possible to the second line. You can hold Shift, and then this will give you a pink line which will appear. And when that pink line appears, you can then left click and then connect it up. So now it is one path rather than two paths. Right, so that's the basics of using this tool. What we need to do now is we need to look at the image and we need to select as many lines as possible. And we're going to start on shoulder and work our way all the way around. But we're not going to do the head because we're going to use a different tool for that one. So you just want to hover over the outline, and when you're happy with the line, you just create it. So we're going to create one here, one down here near the shoe. If you want to, you can increase the detail and that will make it so more lines are visible. We're also going to pick one down here, this one near the shoe. Once again, increase the detail for the shoe right at the bottom there, so we can get that line right there. We're going to select this one. We're going to reduce the detail because it's picked up a bit too much on the coat. We can also put it to simplified, and that will actually focus on the outline more. So as you can see, that is looking a lot better than before. We're also going to connect it up on the shoulder. So now that we've gone around the person, we need to go around it and have a look at the bits that are not connected. Scroll up to zoom in a little bit more. We're going to start on the first line. So if you left click on it, you can select it and we can have a look. It is connected all the way up to here, but then afterwards it's not connected. Just like last time, you want to hold Alt Option key and then the left side of the mouse, and we're going to delete the second side. We're also going to select this one, the very last one, and move this one all the way down here. Right click on the line, add a new anchor point. We're going to drag this one all the way up here and just keep on adding anchor points. Hold Shift, you can then left click and then connect it up. When you get to something like here where the gap is very big, all you have to do is drag your very last point up to here, and then you just continue on adding some other anchor points to it. When you get to something like this, where you've also got something inside of the image, you can just create yourself a separate path, but you also want to make sure that you disconnect it from the top bit. So make sure this is like as if it's a loop where there's no end to it. then finally, once you've gone all the way around, you can now zoom back out and have a look, make sure that everything is connected. And if it is, then all of your points will look like this, where there isn't a single gap. For the head, you just want to get yourself one right at the top here. And then with that one, we're going to flex this one. We're going to click on the top one, move it all the way here, and then adjust the rest of them. So you just create like a rough selection around the head. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're also going to connect this bit right here as well. So if we make sure that this one is close enough, add another one right here to stop it from moving. Hold shift, connect it up when the pink line appears. And then finally, go all the way to the very last one and then connect this one up. Holding shift, once again, connect it up. And there we go. Right, so we've done the hard part. Go over to the one that will say mask. And then this will remove the background. Once you're happy with all your changes, you then want to right click on the layer and then convert this into a smart object. Press Ctrl and J twice, 1, 2. And the reason for this is because the very bottom one, you want to double left click on this one and call this body and then backup. You want to hide this one, you want to double click on the top one above it and then call this body and then rename the last one to head. So we have the head, body, and then body backup. You want to hide the head layer. Focus on the body layer, make sure this one's selected, right click on it, and then rasterize layer. Now that you've done that, on this one, you want to go to the third tool down, right click in here, and then select the polygonal lasso tool. We're going to select the head and leave the body. So go around it by left clicking, go all the way to the very last one, and then hold Control, and then left click to connect it up. All you have to do now is just press delete and then press Ctrl and D to deselect it. What you want to do now is you want to hold Ctrl, left click on the thumbnail to select the whole of the image. Go to Selection tool, go to Select and Mask. Yours will be on the right side. I've moved mine over to the left, but you want to look in the properties, make sure opacity is on 100%. What we can do is we can scroll down and we can go to the global refinements. In here, we're going to set the smoothness to 4, set the feather on 1.1, put the contrast on 100, and then put the shift edge on -100. And as you can see, it's looking a lot better now that we've applied those settings. And then finally, you just want to scroll all the way to the bottom, go to Output 2, and then set this one to a layer mask. Go ahead and press OK. Next up, you want to do the same for the head. So you want to unhide this one, hide the body, go on the top one, make sure this one's selected, hold Control, left click on the thumbnail to select the whole of the image, go to the second tool, go to Select and Mask. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the hair and the head, and we're going to use the second tool, which is the Refine Edge Brush tool. Once you've got it selected, you can change the size in here, or you can use the square brackets on your keyboard. So let's say about 54 is a good number. You want to left click and then drag this out, only selecting the edge, as you can see, and then you just let go. And then that will remove the background. So we just want to go all the way around the hat, removing the background. We're going to pretty much neaten everything up by going to the third tool, which is the brush tool. Make the size a little bit bigger by holding Alt, Option key, and then hold the right side of the mouse out. You want to hold Alt to switch over to the minus and then take it away from here. We're just going to neaten everything up, make sure that there's nothing. If you want to, you can also scroll to the top, go to View, and then have a look at a black and white preview. This just shows you how much of it is gone into the image. We can also add on to the edges, making them a little bit more solid. I'm going to go back to the normal preview. If you want to, you can also use the polygonal lasso tool, which is right here. And then you can hold Alt, left click, and then select this bit to take it away as a more solid removal. Hold Control, connect it up, and then that will take it away, making it look sharper. And then all you have to do, scroll all the way to the bottom. For this one, give it a -10 for the shift, output 2, and then this one, you want to set it on a layer mask. Go ahead and press OK. With this one, we're going to go back to the polygonal lasso tool. In here, we're going to go ahead and select the body, go all the way around, hold Control, connect it up, go over to the bucket tool, get yourself a black color, make sure you're selecting the mask, and then left click to get rid of the body, and just click it a few times. Go ahead and press Ctrl and D. You can now unhide the body. If there's any gaps, for example, this bit right here, you can go onto the mask of the head, go to the brush tool, make sure it's on a white color, and make sure this bit is filled in. So just having a quick look, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We can go back to the first tool. We can click on the top one, hold Shift, click on the bottom one, and then get yourself a group. Press Ctrl and J, hide the group, right click on the top group, and then convert into a smart object. You can move this wherever you want. So for example, if we're going to get ourselves a background and drag it into a separate tab, we can drag this one into that new one by holding it in and then letting go. I'm just going to go ahead and press OK. And there we go.